So we're just going to do a bit of muscular yang type stretching first before we move into the final part being the yin, working on the bone, the ligaments. So it's a bit of a powerful stretch to start off with, then we'll do the restorative. So I'm going to mute you all now. Let me see if I can mute you all. Hang on. Yeah, there we go. Okay, can you still hear me okay? Let's come into child's pose first of all. So make sure your big toes are touching, and then just fold at the hips as you bring your forehead down to the mat. And as you find yourself settling, then just do some cleansing breaths. So inhale deeply, open the mouth and let it go. Inhale and release. Final one, inhale and let it go. And then we're coming up into a tabletop pose. Want to make it an active tabletop. So spread the fingers wide, push away from the floor as you engage with the arms. Make sure you're missing the lower belly, and then feel the contact of your knees. Feel your shins pushing towards the floor, the tops of your feet pushing towards the floor. And set your gaze just in front of you. And again, just find your breath here. Try to find a rhythm with your breathing, in and out through your nose. Pushing away from the floor, feeling the contact of the feet, the shins. It's an active tabletop pose. And on your next inhale, drop the belly, tilt the tailbone, look up at the ceiling. Exhale, round the spine, bring the chin to the chest. We're just going to take it through a few rounds of cat-cow with your breath. Dropping the belly, tilting the tailbone, looking up at the ceiling. Exhaling, rounding. And you can take it a little bit further if you'd like to. You have the option of moving into the shoulders, the arms, taking some circular motions on the inhale. Exhale, pushing back. Inhaling, coming down. Exhaling, pushing back. And then maybe taking the circles the other way. Or just do your standard cat-cow as you're just waking up the spine. One final one. And come back to your normal tabletop. Then just slide the knees back slightly, and we're coming into our puppy dog melting heart. So walk the hands forward, but as you come down, don't sink into this. Keep the core engaged, so your spine should be quite straight. Bring the forehead down to the mat, and you can activate the arms, opening them up more through the front of the chest by coming to your fingertips here. And then just holding this pose, breathing into it, feeling the stretch as your arms are extended forward, forehead to the mat, or your palms flat or fingertips, your choice here. So keep pulling the core in, protecting your lower spine, and feeling the stretch in the arms and across the front of the chest. Two more breaths. And release. So bring the hands down, bring them back underneath your shoulders. Curl the toes under, and let's lift up into a downward dog. So just find your place in downward dog. Feel the relax of the neck, and you give the head a shake. Pedal it out, bending the knees. You can bend into your arms again, so you can work into the shoulders if you want to. You're lifting the lower belly up, lifting the hips up to the ceiling, and pushing the weight back. Walk into your downward dog, and then find stillness. And then we're going to really find length through the spine. So I want you to come high on the toes. Push the belly onto the thighs. It doesn't matter how far you get. want you to push your body through your arms, pushing your belly onto your thighs. Keep the upper body still here, so you don't move forward at all. You just start to straighten the legs slightly. As soon as you feel the spine starting to round, keep your knees at that level, and then lower the hips, the heels down to the floor. Just holding it here in downward dog. And then slowly walk the feet and the hands to meet each other in the center of the mat. And hang in ragdoll. Give the upper body a shake. And grab opposite elbows. And then let the hands down again. Find equal pressure through the feet and take the hands behind you, interlacing the hands, bringing the palms towards each other. And move the arms away from you so you open up through the front of the chest. So you're interlacing the hands behind your back, moving the arms up to the ceiling and forward. And release, release, bend into the knees, release the hands and come up halfway. So you're coming up almost into what looks like a chair pose. Release through the shoulders, give them a little shake around, and then take the hands back behind you, interlace, and as you come up, take the arms away from you so you can really feel the opening up, the heart center leading. Again, pull the core in, protect the lower spine, we're not loading there. And if you want to add to the stretch, this challenge, you can come up onto your toes, holding it here, feet flat or on your toes. But you keep pulling the arms away from you so you're feeling that stretch, holding it for another 3 breaths. Final breath. And release. Release the heels down. Release the arms as you fold all the way down. Release. Give the upper body a shake. And again, we're going to just move again into this bend, doing a second set. But this time, as you take the hands behind you, stop them halfway up. Just try to bring the other grip into place, so the grip that feels a bit weird. The other thumb leading. Pull the arms away from you as you come up. Think about pulling the core in so you're not loading into the lower spine. Again, if you want to challenge yourself further, just come high onto the toes, lifting the heels, keeping the core pulled in, keeping the arms pulled back, and find your breath again, holding it here for another 3 breaths. And release. Release the hands, fold all the way down. And again, walk into it. Release through the shoulders. Give the upper body a shake. Let the weight of the head fall down. And walk the hands forward and step the feet back so you can step back into your downward dog. Pedal it out here again. Keep pulling the lower belly in. And let's take the right leg up, a strong right leg. And now point the toes and open the hips, but keep the shoulders square. So you're lifting the leg as high as you can, pointing the toes, shoulders square. And of course, you've got the option here to stretch into the quad by dropping the heel towards the bottom and really opening up through the hips. And release. Release by stepping the foot forward all the way to the front of the mat between your hands. Keep the hips quite low and keep the left hand down and come up into your simple twist, taking the right arm up, kicking to the back heel. Breathe into the stretch. And keep the upper arm lifted as we move into our revolved Skandasana. So what we're going to do is we're twisting on the feet to come to the outside edge of both feet. So you're twisting to open to the right side. Keep the reach up, and on the exhale, lower the hip down towards the floor. The hand comes down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lower the hip down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. And release. Release the hand back around. Take the foot into the center. And we're going to come up into our high lunge. So kick into the back heel, engage the glute muscles as you come up, engage the core. And if you find that it's a little bit narrow, you can extend this by taking the foot further back, kicking into the back heel. Bringing the arms up, make sure you're keeping your hips below your spine, not pushing it out to the back of the heel. So you're engaging the glute muscles and not loading into the lower spine. Find the stretch into the quad muscles, into the back of your back leg as you kick into the heel. You can stay here for another 2 breaths, or we can just challenge our balance by taking the left hand forward, the right hand back as we come into this twisted lunge. Always have the option of dropping the back knee if you need to. Holding it here. And release, taking the arms back round, take the hands down. And then dropping the back knee, toe heel the foot out to the edge so that you can come into your lizard. To direct the toes towards the outside edge of the mat slightly, as if it's 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. And find some softness here. Find where your lizard is. So you can take the movement as you work into the hips, into the opening of the hip flexor. You come down to the elbows if you like to. Or make sure your elbows are soft so you can sink deeper into this. And as always, imagine your exhale is just releasing tension in the body. And your inhale is bringing in new energy. You can take this a little bit further, this lizard, by either coming up onto your hand and pushing your right knee further out, or you can stay on your elbow and push your right knee further out. So work with what is right for your body today, or you can continue in your front lizard position, whichever is right for you. And you have the option of staying here, but if you want to have a little bit of strength play, then you can come back up, just bring the foot slightly in so it's underneath your shoulder. And in that way, you're able to get your right shoulder underneath the back of the knee. Lift the back knee and then extend the arms out so you can come into your flying lizard. Or stay in your normal lizard if you'd like to. And release. With control, bring the hand down, walk the foot further into the middle, drop the back knee, and come back into your half split. So you're walking the weight back, pulling the right hip back into the body, so you're squaring the hips, trying to extend through the front leg. Modification here is always if you come down all the way to your heel, so the easier option. You're trying to get the stretch down the front of your front leg. Another modification if you want to take it further is folding your body over your leg, taking your face towards your foot. Breathing into this. And release. So we're going to come forward. We're going to launch our weight into the front foot. If you need a block here, that's perfectly okay. We're going to come forward into the front foot and into standing split. So you're lifting your leg as high as you can, dropping the head down. And you have the option here, taking the right hand behind the back of your ankle to pull your body in closer towards your leg. Try to lift your back leg as high as you can. Don't worry if you're not in standing splits. If it's low like this, that's absolutely fine. The option of finding strength in the balance is stretch down the back of your front leg. Again, finding your breath. And release. Release the hand down, and with control, step all the way back. The foot comes down and drop the back knee, taking the weight further back. Coming up into our low lunge, but take the weight further back first so that you can again engage the core muscles, engage the glutes, arms come up overhead, and then take the weight forward and down. So you're protecting your lower spine, not pulling into, you say really active into muscles there at all, and protecting your lower spine. Sinking down in this low lunge. And the option here is again, you can take the twist if you like to. You can stay here, taking your gaze up to the ceiling, or you can take your hand down Bring the back foot in and come for a twist and you stretch into the quad. So work with what is right for you today. And release. Release the hands down, curl the back foot and push back into a plank pose. Option here with your plank. So hands are under the shoulders. You can drop the knees. Don't pull the knees forward, just drop them down so you've still got the core strength working for you. Or you can stay in the plank. And we're just going to do some circular motions again. Circle the shoulders, doing small circles forwards. For another 1, 2, and then let's do 3 in the other direction. 3, 2, 1. And then drop the hips down. Even if you've got your knees down, just drop the hips down to hover. Just hold the back bend. So hands are under the shoulders. Knees can be down or off if you're in chaturanga, your choice. Then lift up again into your downward dog. Lifting through the lower belly and head it out. Find your downward dog again. Keep the head shape. Working to the lower belly, lifting the hips up. And as always, really try to get in that habit of finding length in the spine, a straight spine. So let's lengthen this again by coming high on the toes, bending the knees, pushing the belly towards the thighs. Keep the upper body exactly where it is. You just straighten the legs, not moving the upper body forward, and then lower the heels towards the floor. Don't worry about the heels touching. Don't worry about the legs being straightened. The spine stays straight. Then on the inhale, strong left leg up. So we're working into the left side now. Point the toes and let's open the hips. So equal pressure through the shoulders. And then you can always drop the foot to the bottom so you're really working into the quad muscle stretch as well. And release. Take the left foot forward through the body and plant it between the hands. Keeping the hips low, keep into the back heel and come into your simple twist as you take the left arm up to the ceiling, pushing away from the floor with your right hand. Keep kicking into the back heel, gaze can be up to the ceiling, up to the hand, or forward, your choice, listen to your neck. And then we're revolving our Skandasana, our side lunge, so you're coming onto the outside edge of both feet. Keep the arm raised on the inhale. Exhale, bring the hips down, the hand down. Inhale, lift the hips up, the arm up. Exhale, hips down, hand down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, and down. Inhale, up. And then hands come all the way back around. Taking the foot into the center, we're lifting up into our high lunge. So again, think about where you want to be. So if your foot is too close, just slide it a little bit further back so you can come into a deep high lunge. But it's the core muscles, the glute muscles that are firing up to really find your strength here. Keep the arms strong, kicking into the back here. You can hold it here, or you can revolve it. Taking the back hand behind you, your gaze can go to your hand or to the side, your choice. And release. Inhale, hands come up. Take the hands down either side of the foot, dropping the back knee, toe heel the foot out so that we can come into lizard on the left side. So your toes now pointing to 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at the side of the mat. Soften through the elbows, take some movement. Feel yourself sink into this lizard. You can come down to your elbows if you'd like to. You can use a block here, a cushion. Feel yourself open up into it. And as always, if you want to just take it that little bit further, you can push the left, take the left hand on the left knee, push the knee away from you. Either with the right hand flat to the floor or the right forearm flat to the floor, your choice here. And so you can continue to open your hip up this way, but if you want a little strength balance challenge, let's just take the foot in slightly so it's underneath the left shoulder. Slide the left shoulder under the back of the knee and extend the arm. We lift the back knee, kick into the heel, and then take the arms out wide so you're coming into your flying lizard. Or continue to keep opening up through the hips as you push the knee away from you in the lizard. Keep finding your breath. The more shallow your breath, the more tension you're holding in the body. And release with control. With control, slide the foot into the middle of the mat between the hands, drop the back knee, and take the weight all the way back, coming into our half splits, half Hanuman. Ardha Hanuman. Ardha. No, how do I say it? Sorry, getting mixed up with my Sanskrit. Ardha Hanuman. Asana. There we go. Got it. So find what is right for you. If you want to fold over it, as you pull the left hip back into the body, or down all the way onto your heel, whichever is your option. You think about the breath, releasing your breath is working through the tension in the body so you can go deeper into the poses. And we're going to come forward into our standing split. So take the weight forward, bending into the front knee, launch yourself forward to come into standing split. The right leg goes up as high as you can. Keep the right hand down. Option here, take the left hand behind the ankle. Pull the body down as you drop the head down. And again, keep lifting through the leg. Try to get into your standing split. Lifting the leg as high as you can. And release. The hands come down with control. Take the foot down, back and behind you and drop the back knee. So we take the weight back first of all as we come into our low lunge. Take the arms up and engage this area. Protect your spine. And then come down into your low lunge. So it's not so much about a curve in the back. It's about keeping the hip open, stretching the hip flexor. You can take your gaze up to the ceiling. Or if you want to challenge yourself, you can take it into that quad stretch. So you're taking the foot behind with the opposite hand and really pulling the heel into the bottom to get the stretch down the quad muscle. And release. Release the hands down, curl the back toes, lift and push back into your plank. And let's do our little shoulder circles again. So we're circling round for 3, for 2, for 1. And let's change direction for 3, for 2, and for 1. And then we're going to drop the hips to come into our backbone. So it might be that your knees are down, it might be that you're in full chaturanga. This is listen to your body. Take the neck up, the neck, shoulders away from the ears, low heart center forward. Push back up into your downward dog and walk it out. Again, feeling some movement, feeling lift the lower belly, return to the tailbone. And let's come forward. You can either step all the way through the hands, or you can come down to seated if you want to jump through, your choice here. And down to seated. Okay, so I'm going to take the right knee first into our shoelace seated position. Favorite of yours, Mike, I think. Let's take the right knee on top of the left. And you have the sole of the foot, so I'll just show you this way. You have the sole of the foot pointing back. Now this is our half shoelace. If you want to take it further, you can take the left foot around as well. And again, bringing the feet down towards your hips. So listen to your body, see what is right for you today. It all depends a little bit on your pelvic shape as well as your flexibility. So don't beat yourself up about how far you go in this. And then we're going to fold forward. But as we fold forward, I want you to take your hands further away and push the front of the mat away from you. So you're pushing your seat bones towards the floor. You're pushing the weight into the hips to open up here. We'll just hold this as we breathe deeply again. Just envisage your breath opening through the body, working through the tension, melting it away. Let's walk the hands back. And we're going to come into a twist on this side. You take the left hand over the right knee. The right hand is behind you. So on the inhale, find length. On the exhale, twist and look over your right shoulder. Really finding that length. On the inhale and the exhale, you twist a little bit more. Two more breaths. Slowing your breath down, letting it work through the barriers in the body. And release. And we might want to just do a little counter twist to the other side. And then come back to the center. As we unbind the leg, we're going to come straight into our half boat. So you want to find the core engaged. You have the option here of staying in half boat, or you can come into your full boat, taking your arms overhead and your legs straight. So work with what is right for you. You have the option here of staying in this position, or we can take it all the way down to hover down towards the floor. Inhale, come back up again. And then bring the knees into the chest. And let's take it onto our shoelace, the other side. So this time it's the left knee that is on top. So you're bending the left knee back, and then you can bring the right one back and down to the side. Again, so you're stacking the knees as much as you can. Might be that the better option is to keep the legs straight and the knees stacked that way, whichever is right for you today. I've got a big variation in my hips and my pelvis, so it's a lot higher on this side for me. But I'm going to creep my hands forward again and push the front of the mat away so that I can really start just building against that barrier that I've got in my hips, trying to breathe into it, trying to release it. And try to relax as much as possible in this pose to really work through those barriers that we've got in our body. And release. Walk the hands back. Unbind the legs. Oh, sorry, no, I beg pardon. Let's do the twist. Don't unbind the leg yet, please. So we're going to twist to the left side. So you take the right hand over the opposite knee. Left hand is behind the body so you get a straight spine. On the inhale, lift. On the exhale, twist and look over your left shoulder. And release. As you come round, just take a small twist to the other side just for that counter pose. And then come back to the center. Now we can unbind. The hips will be thanking us later. And come again into your half boat. So we keep it in half boat this time. Keep the spine straight. Keep the lower belly knitted so you're really holding your core strong. Bring your hands together in prayer. We're just going to tap each side to work into stretching through the obliques. So you bring the hands down to the left, up to the center, down to the right, up to the center for 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 9, and 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And hug. Give yourself a well-deserved hug. Pull the knees in. You can still balance on your sit bones if you want to. And then we're coming into our restorative part of the practice now. So we're just going to work into the yin frame of mind now. So this is where we're letting go of the muscles. We're going to come into recovery mode. And we're going to start with our butterfly pose first of all. So bring the soles of the feet together. Let the knees fall out. So don't have the soles too close to your groin, as it's like a diamond shape with the legs. If you don't have any spinal issues, any disc problems, sciatic problems, we're going to fold forward in here. If you have spine problems, disc issues at the moment, you're going to take a cushion behind you and come into your lying bridge. So you can let the shoulders straight over the sides of the cushion or the bolster, whatever you want to use, and just lie back that way. If you're going to come into your other butterfly, you're going to just take the pelvis forward first, so find some stretch through the crown of the head, and then let yourself fold, taking the arms through the legs and forward, or along the top of the legs and forward, whichever is right for you. We're just going to hold this for 3 minutes, so I'll set the timer, and please remember, just let the muscles go, disengage. Find softness as we start working into our bones, into stretching the ligament as we hold the pose, finding that stillness. Observe your breath. Notice as it starts to slow down. The nervous system starts to slow down. You just find yourself becoming clearer in thought and observing your body. You take your gaze inward. You close down the eyes. Just feel the sensations of the body. You just really surrender to the pose, the softness, and let your body open up. Make sure you're not holding any tension across the brows, the forehead. And soften the jaw, the tongue. A few more seconds. So move slowly, move mindfully as you bring the body back upright. We're going to lift the knees together. Just take the arms back behind you and window wipe the knees side to side. You can let the head drop, you can let the head sink into the shoulders. And just find some stillness. Listen to what your body's asking for. Also recognize what the after effects are feeling like. We're still feeling sensations in the body. We're going to come down to the mat now to come into a supported bridge. So you might want to take a block or If you've got some cushion, you can take a cushion or a bolster. You're going to come slowly, wind yourself down to the mat so that you're coming down flat. Feet stay hip distance apart. And bring the heels towards the bottom. And then just push through the feet. So you can place the cushion or the block just underneath the hips. Make sure it's not pinching the sacrum, the lower spine at all. And then you can just take your hands away from the body slightly, open the palms to the ceiling, and just find yourself settling in here. So position a cushion, a block, comfortably underneath the hips, just to support it there. It's not about how high you are, it's about just releasing in this. Again, this is another 3-minute pose. So you've got time to release, time to relax, time to open up. Really start working on your inner self. Slowing everything down. The breath, the nervous system. Time to rest and digest. Just take some pressure into the soles of the feet as you lift the hips up and slide your prop away from you. Let the spine settle onto the mat and draw the knees into the chest. Just let yourself rock side to side. And then keeping the knees towards the chest, we're just going to come into our twisted root. So keep the shoulder towards the floor, cactus the arms, and allow the knees to fall towards one side. Again, using the props if you need to, between the knees, or on top of the knees if you're wanting to add that extra bit of weight. Holding it here for a couple of minutes on one side before we go to the other. And then just scan the body to make sure you're not holding any tension. It's just a root, letting gravity work for you. Bringing the knees back to the center. Let's straighten out your spine before you let them drop to the other side. Again, just allow another 2 minutes to really open up in your twisted root. Bring the body back to the center. Hug the knees in again, just to realign the spine. And then straighten out the legs down to the mat, taking the heels towards the outside edges. And we're just going to do a final pose of Banana Asana. So as you extend your arms overhead, bring the feet together to the center, just pencil stretch it out first of all, and then slide the hips to one side of the mat, and then keeping the hips flat, take the arms overhead and the feet, both feet, to the opposite edge of the mat. So the hips at one side, feet and arms at the other, keeping the shoulders flat, the hips flat. Relax through the neck. You can grab opposite hands or wrists. You can cross the feet at the ankles. So just feel yourself releasing in banana asana. Finding that stretch all the way down the side of the body. Again, another 2 minutes. Really mindfully slide your body back to the center. Separate the legs and then shift the hips over to the other side. Take your arms overhead. Take those to the opposite edge, the feet, the same edge of your arms. Again, banana asana, finding that stretch down the side of your body. Another couple of minutes. Just letting go. Make sure you're not holding any tension in the neck. And bring us back to the center. Allow your body into your final Savasana. You take the heels out towards the corners to let yourself be comfortable. Final 2 minutes of total relaxation. In the body, assimilate the yang, the yin, those complementing forces that we have taken our body through this evening. Feel some movement in the toes, in the fingers, and breathe deeply into the body. Then take the feet together, stretch through your toes, stretch through your fingertips. And roll over onto your right side, keeping the right arm above your head so your head rests on your extended arm. And then bring yourself up to a comfortable seated position. And your hands to your heart center. Just roll the shoulders back and down. On the inhale, fill the lungs, fill the belly. On the exhale, sigh it out. Thank you for letting me guide you through your practice this evening. It's so lovely to see your faces. And happy Easter. Namaste.